with the motherfucking shit. Making this video, man, cause it's the weekend, and I know a lot of people are just like you know doing their hoe ass shit, or maybe they're on TikTok talking shit, trying to ruin a nation. Well, I just got done for an hour trying to argue with some people that really can't understand the meaning of life and stuff and how to respect life and shit. You know what I mean? Other words, pro-choicers. You know what I mean? Trying to spread their stupid Nazism, tyranny ideology on everybody. Bunch of privileged people living in the matrix. Unnatural. Transhumanist with their political agenda to depopulate the rest of the world with their stupid eugenic programming and their fucking transhumanistic, agenda and their ethnic cleansing and their depopulation programs that they have. Fucking Nazis. You know, I was arguing with these pro-choicers for a good minute, and they didn't want me to go on because, like, honestly, I just wanted to know, what gives women the right to kill men's seed, like, consistently, and then try to shame men, and like, who, rather, why do they like to destroy the only thing about them that makes them useful? I mean, in society, why do they fucking think that it's cool to be a useless cunt in society? I mean, don't they know they're defiling the things that make them women, the things that God that we're protecting about women? I mean, you're trying to enforce an environment that is giving ground to sex traffickers and to prostitution and to rape, the things they are arguing against. I mean, I think that you have developed Stockholm syndrome, and you have started to empathize with your, the same people that had your same master that enslaved you called Planned Parenthood. I think they all need some professional fucking help. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, and I think I need professional psychological help because this shit is not normal. None of this is natural, but none of this is normal neither. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you this. At this point, these women like and these guys that do this stuff, they like to test, our gangster because they think that they're still alive because men are pussies or something. I think that men have been patient, and I think that we have tolerated this sort of like, you know, um, stupid ass, hoe ass shit that these motherfucking people been perpetrating. You know what I mean, for so damn long. You know what I mean, and that it's affected my life, our generations, our entire nations, and the only reason you're alive is because people submit to the U.S. But really, the U.S. is corrupt, and really, you're just alive because of its corrupt military. You know what I mean? That godless military and empire, godless society that y'all have created. That's the only shit that's protecting you. I mean, not the God, not the law of God, not God, because y'all don't even believe in God. You know, you believe in your empire, just like those Roman pagans believed in their empire, and they died. They lost. You understand why? Because there's something greater than you, and that's called God. And by the way, you know what I mean? That already happened in the Roman times. You know that the prostitutes in the Roman times, they had their kids, right? And there was kids. Not only that, but even bitches that didn't have kids, they were prostitutes. They had abortions back in the day too. And when they'd have poor kids, because the Roman Empire. You see, when you have a godless ideology, you bring immorality into the mix because of your junk science that you believe in. You know what I mean? You want to talk. You want to bring an existential threat to our, like, an existential crisis, right? A threat to our human life. We're talking about our creation, our conception, the way that we come into this world. You know what I mean? You want to bring. You want to promote that, the extinguishing of that, and then you don't want us to talk about religion. You want to bring an existential crisis to us, questioning our very existence, and then you want us to reject religion. Religion, like if it's not a viable stance, even though it created the nations that we live in, and it's what billions of people believe in. I mean, that is so fucking stupid and ignorant of you. I mean, that is just the premise, of what I'm trying to trying to, speak about to these women, that this not fucking normal. It's not natural. I mean, this is some shit that was put in their mind. It's a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? You have the right to be a whore. Guess what, bitch? I got the right to go and slap the shit out of your face and rearrange your teeth. I also got the right to shoot these motherfucking stupid motherfuckers that think that I'm like, I'm a pussy or some shit. I got the right to, shoot those motherfuckers. The only reason I do it is because I submit myself to the laws of this land, of this democracy, right? Again, and where we have been tolerating you women. You know what I mean? And we have to hold back, and we have let you run rampant like a bunch of animals for decades while y'all keep on fucking act like y'all keep fucking blaming men for some shit that you do, that you make your own mistakes. You know what I mean? You blame us for your own problems. You see, you cause these things on yourself because you don't know how to take care of yourself, because you never took care of yourself. You needed men to do it. You know what I mean? So to try to take away the authority of man, even when it's our seed, what you have given a rise to is eugenic programming and racism and slavery. That is what the fuck you're defending, and that's the shit that you have submitted your ideologies to. Planned Parenthood. I mean, you let yourself be brainwashed by the standards of our educational system. It got science, but that's the beautiful thing about religion. That religion encompasses all the fucking science that you fucking know and that they will ever know. That's the thing about religion. That no matter how far you go in science, we're still gonna be. Science is just we're still gonna be ahead of that. You know what I mean? And even your favorite scientists will agree. Oh, that's the biggest God argument. It's not an argument. It's a fact. You know what I mean? And so the point of the matter is that you're stuck in your own perception, and your perception is skewed because your perception. The reason I hate you is because you defend an ideology that was historically the ideology of slave masters and people that ethnically cleanse people, the people that are imperialist and that they invaded and raped and murdered entire continents, and then you're trying to say that the people that are bad are actually the slaves or the people they did it to. And it's funny because the white man was able to do this to us, and I'm a minority, by the way, and I'm also a Christian, which in this country right now makes it seem like I'm even more of a minority. But while you are just people that believe in junk science like social Darwinism or Darwinism, you know what I mean, and other shit like. Let me tell you this though. Women are, I mean, not women. Women have been getting away with a lot of shit, okay? And they just been lying, and it's just been nonsense. And stop it, because y'all motherfucking bitches. I know that you're doing this not because you're banding together and you help each other because you care. You don't give a shit. That is your way of being egotistical egomaniacs. You know what I mean? Don't think I don't know that about you. You know what I mean? You women band together because that is the form and way that y'all get to be egomaniac. But that's the way that for us, when we band together, we're thinking, oh, we're like a brotherhood and shit. Y'all just being egomaniacs. You know what I mean? It actually takes an effort for men to get along. But you know what? Um, cursed or curses to the person that actually believes in somebody else. So when we're talking about people's rights, right? Like again, back to I submit to this country, right? Because it's supposed to protect my rights. I sacrifice some of my freedom, like smacking the shit out of you. You know what I mean? And even though I can, because God made me stronger, and I should be able to control my seed and raise it, and I should be able to control you, because if you're my wife, if you chose to be with me, then you're with me, nobody else. You know what I mean? And I should be able to defend that with my strength because God made me stronger, and that is my strength. I got the freedom to do that. How about that? You know what I mean? I got the freedom to do that. I don't like to be a fucking cuck. I don't like to be played. I'm not a community dick out this bitch. I'm not a cuck and want some other dude to fuck my wife, all right? So fuck that. If you thought that shit, I'm sorry, sweetheart, you need to grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? That's why you get raped in the first place, because you be out there doing stupid ass shit. That's why you need men to protect your motherfucking ass, because you fucking stupid. And y'all asking for it. So the fucking point that I'm trying to say, right, is that I don't do that shit, and I haven't slapped a woman in my 31 years. The reason, even though I've gotten cheated since I was like 14, right, and it's not like I haven't impregnated women. It's just simply that these women were immoral, and they never met our standards. And we've been patient, and I think that we've been more than patient. We've been tolerating even to our own self-detriment. You know what I mean? And now y'all have created an existential crisis to us, and then y'all want us to turn away from God, and then you don't understand what you're doing, but you are promoting Satan, which is death, basically, and chaos and suffering and pain. You know what I mean? That is what you're promoting. You're promoting pain from all over the world that gives ground to sexual predators, sexual exploitation of minors. You are your own worst enemy. You're shooting yourself in the fucking leg. The only thing that makes you fucking useful in a society, right, is the fact that you can be a good mother. They give you all the resources in the fucking world. You had one job. You know what I mean? They give you the whole fucking world. Nothing is expected of you. Nobody tells you to fight shit. They give you the fucking education. They give you the resources first. They save you. You got attention. You got counselors, man. They don't fucking force marriages on you anymore. You can wear whatever the fuck you want, and you choose to be a motherfucking immoral woman. You know what I mean? Y'all choose to cheat. Y'all choose to be motherfucking spoiled little brats. You think that they gave it to you because you're entitled. You think you're entitled for it, bitch. You know, like I said, and the only reason feminism exists is because y'all try to usurp power. Y'all have more power than men. You know what I mean? Minority men. You just don't have more power than the people in charge of this country, which are white men. You know what I mean? And that's where you meet your match. You know what I mean? And you can't stop them because they motherfucking been running this bitch the whole time for centuries. And that's where you meet your match, and that's why you feel the way you feel. But that's why you blame all the shit on men on from their motherfucking shit. And you think I get to fucking? You think I'm a white boy that has fucking that has all this money, influence, and resources and shit, and connections and shit? Hell no. You're like when you think of white men with their privilege and shit. That's the same thing I think about you bitches. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I'm more oppressed than you. Probably on a more bigger disparity. You know what I mean? Well, not really, but on a certain disparity because they get to have kids, right? Because they got that shit. And but then you kill our babies. You follow their agenda anyway. I mean, if you know, it's all in your psychology. You're racist inherently if you follow Planned Parenthood and you follow racism and you follow Satanism and you follow, things that promote a chaste system where we are just a bunch of animals and at the bottom of the food chain and they are superior human beings and shit. The master race, and that's what you follow. You know what I mean? And that's it reflected in the way that your arguments and the way that you carry yourself and how you live life. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, you know what I'm saying? So, like, these bitches done kill my boner, you know what I mean? I'm turtling right now, and I think I got high blood pressure. It is an uncomfortable feeling, right? Because knowing that everything that bitches do is they think it's right to kill baby. Everything that you believe that we loved about women, they have fucking totally desecrated, defiled themselves. And I don't want to go into, like, I'm not judging them because, the whole thing with Jesus, forgiving prostitutes. I don't have a problem with the fuck you do with your life. I have a problem that you try to act like you're normal when you do it. I mean, at least fucking consider the fact that it's not motherfucking normal. Y'all act like any of this shit that y'all do is natural. It's not natural. It's not normal. Okay, nowhere in nature. Because in order to be natural, it has to happen in nature without human intervention, without these fucking machines and shit, without fucking Planned Parenthood, without medicine and all this fucking research and science and shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen naturally in nature. So this was invented by man. You know what I mean? And so we can think about shit. You know what I mean? Like on a higher level because I don't hate science. Like I mean at one point I was like I grew up here. Just like y'all and I ran with your fucking heathens. But here's the thing that y'all sent me to. For me, the things that y'all think is normal, I consider it hell because y'all motherfuckers don't have a real true morality to stand on. Y'all draw the line to whatever fits your fucking story. I mean, it's like America. You think they're left, you think they're centrist, you think they're right. At the end of the day, their fucking military lied to the public and went to go kill 1 million people so they could drill some fucking oil. That's what the fuck they did. You know what I mean? So like you try to fucking act like you're good or you're 1 minute you're this and you're like, oh, but I'm a good person. You try to virtue signal, then you try to say that you're folk, you care about people. You do this, bitch. You're a monster. You know what I mean, you'll do anything to try to fucking for your own fucking self survival and shit. You know what I mean? You're a fucking monster. You don't care. You don't care about God because you don't care about human life, and you don't care about that's the reason. But then you try to say that Christians are trying to control your body, bitch, or like men are trying to control your body. First of all, I mean, you are the one that is following slave masters. What did you think that because they don't because did they promise you that you could be like them if you subjected other people to being slaves? What because you see that's what you see. Men sacrificed their lives for you and gave you the privileges and shit and forgave you and didn't slut shame you and we're backing you up with your whole feminism shit and then you fucking went and joined the devil. I mean, you went and joined the fucking. You think you're the slave master now. I mean, you try to cry wolf and say you're the slave, you're the oppressed, and then you go and fucking literally become just like the slave masters. You know what I mean? Trying to extinguish life, and you get to the side, you think you're judge, jury, executioner, you motherfucking, you all that shit. And I have you know that I could be drunk and I still be fucking smarter than all you fucking feminists. I mean, and all you fucking stupid assholes. Yeah, at the end of the fucking day, I'm a man and I think logically. So please, your emotions. The reason you can't control your emotions, the reason you're so lost is because you don't have a man. I mean, you need a man to guide you through life, to help you understand those things that you feel, but you don't fucking get it. You need a man to help you because we balance you out. We are logical. We're logical and you're emotional. I mean, so you make rash decisions that don't make sense to nobody, but your fucking stupid delusion that you have in your mind. You know what I mean? With whatever the fuck reason you came for that, and that's fine. Whatever the fuck, if you're a fucking crazy bitch, but you know what I mean, whatever the fuck, But but at the end of the fucking day, what the shit you're promoting is historically the shit that we don't want if we want to live in a good community in a good society. You know what I mean, to me, y'all a bunch of idiots. That like it would be simpler if women just didn't have sex if they didn't want to have kids instead of killing kids of men that do want to have kids. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? You know what I mean? If you don't want to have kids and you want to live alone and be old and have cats as family members, go ahead. But don't motherfucker try to push your ideology of killing babies because all that shit has left is unnatural shit. Because nature, I impregnated a woman. Where's my child? I mean, 9 months, I'm supposed to have my apples. I want a little baby boy. What happened? Oh, that's right. You know what I mean? Planned Parenthood intervened and decided to brainwash you and tell you that I can't take care of a kid and that you're too young and then why the fuck were you fucking around, bitch? As far as I'm concerned, I did my part and impregnated a woman. I mean, that is nature, right? That is my natural ability, and that's what I did. And if you think that you didn't think that when I fucked you, I mean, and if you were doing that and you were just having sex, right? Then just say you're a motherfucking whore. I mean, why the fuck you having sex if you're immature and you can't take care of your kid? I mean, don't ever try to say that men ain't trying to motherfucking have kids and that we're irresponsible. You the bitches that motherfucking have abortions. Okay? And so, I did my part and impregnating a bitch. We are not even talking about whether I'm a responsible dad. Y'all motherfucking bitches jump to conclusions and don't even give us a chance to prove ourselves. I mean, fuck that. You know what I mean? They killed my baby. I had to say hi and bye before I even got to this world. Right? Because you motherfucking hoes decided to listen to Planned Parenthood. I mean, and Planned Parenthood is the one that brainwashed y'all since y'all were kids. The same. Did your parents tell you to have sex? Did they tell you to have sex at 12 years old, 9 years old, 14, 15? When the fuck did you lose your virginity? And if you got raped, let me just tell you, I'm not gonna fucking hold back. The reason that you got raped is because of stupid ass people that believe the same shit that you believe now, which is that we don't care about immorality and we don't care about the kids' lives. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the fucking reason why you got raped, because of people that believe that shit. You know. Now I think that people got to suffer in order to be to know what's right and what's wrong. All I know is that I'm a type of person that if I lived in a community, like we wouldn't be having sex if women weren't so damn easy. The reason you're easy is because Planned Parenthood told you that you could have killed your baby, so you don't have to think about it. And that's why you think that you can always, and then you come up with whatever fucking reason about how you feel, when you're on your own or when you're surrounded with other bitches, and then you come up with the most stupidest reason as to why you leave a relationship and whatever the fuck, and you think that's normal. None of that shit tracks. None of that shit is normal. I mean, that shit is psychopathic behavior. I mean, you fucking sleep with somebody and then you ghost them. Who does that? A fucking psychopath. You cheat on somebody for 5 months. Who the fuck does that? A psychopath. I mean, you lying to somebody that you're intimate with. I mean, shit. You're psychopaths. You're fucking psychos, and y'all try to act like y'all normal people. I mean, y'all not. But I understand, what I mean? Because shit happens, And if I was in a situation like that, I guess that I would be stupid too if I was surrounded by stupid people all my life. And if I was brainwashed and I didn't have people if I didn't know God, if I didn't have, faith And if I was as stupid as you, I guess I'd be, if I was like stuck in a matrix, like if I was a pig, you know what I mean, in a spoiled pig living in a first world country for so long that's never experienced, shit, and doesn't know the reality about their propaganda machines and about all the shit that the fucking country does, and they try to act like they're the best people in the world. I mean, if you're living in such abundance and shit, and you don't really know the struggle of third world countries, you don't really know the way that people fucking really, you know what I'm saying? Then, I guess I'd be ignorant too, and I guess I'd think, oh well, whatever the fuck they tell me. You know what I mean? Your educational system. Oh my gosh. If you ain't bout it, then fall back, bitch. Like that's what I'm saying. Like life ain't a motherfucking joke, dog. I always knew this shit. You motherfucking hoes done wasted like 15 years of my life. You know what I mean? Because I kept trying with you bitches and kept trying and kept trying and all in vain, even to my own detriment. I overextended myself and I became the laughing stock because I lost everything. And then I got humiliated. And then these motherfucking cocksuckers fucking think that I'm a fucking pussy or some shit. You know what I mean? Because they think they got the freedom to come and fuck my girlfriend. Y'all bitches think y'all got the freedom to go be whores. But then y'all don't fucking even think that I got the freedom to go shoot you motherfucking bitches. Y'all think I don't got the fucking freedom to go fucking pop you motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Which I do. Because, the law of God, stipulates that you are an evil ass person. You know what I mean? That should be cut out of our midst in order to be blessed by God. And in this Christian nation, in this God, and look, first of all, little psychology, right? Do you think you got your rights? You say you got your rights to do this, then that. Who gave you your rights? Who the fuck said that? Who the fuck gave you your rights? Because apparently you take it for granted. Women take them for granted. So who the fuck gave you those rights? Because I sure as fuck didn't. Did your parents say that shit? Is that how you were raised? Who the fuck said you got those rights? Where the fuck did y'all bitches get the right to fucking be a bunch of fucking whores, spitting nonsense and ruining our lives? I mean, being destructive and shit. Who the fuck gave you that right? I mean, I think that these hoes are, they want to say it's irrelevant, whatever. Bitch, shut up. I mean, y'all just racist. You know what I mean? Women can't stand on any argument. What the fuck? They got to resort to being racist and shit and name calling. I mean, and nasty, disgusting, vile human beings. Inside and out. Blech. Anyway, you motherfucking hoes, right? Where'd you get the right to be a hoe? Who gave you that freedom that you say you got? I mean, because obviously you're gonna answer one of the three things, which is probably you think because you didn't fight for your shit. Bitches don't fight for nothing. I mean, who the fuck fought their battles? I mean, either right, your dad is a fucking killer, and he was the most biggest fucking warrior that there ever fucking was, and he's a fucking general or some shit, and nobody tells this motherfucker what to do. I mean, either you're the son of a king and some shit, of a fucking, prince or prince, some shit like that, or the most richest elite, or right, um, you you say that this country gave you these rights, this country and the government or whatever, and that the U.S. and these civilized nations gave you the right? Which is probably what you'll say because you live in a nation, you fucking spoiled brats. Um, third thing you would say is God gave you the rights. But if you live in the U.S., you would be, all two of those things would be right? Or maybe all three of them, because the reason in the United States it says that we have rights is because we have our inalienable rights because we're humans endowed by our creator, right? So our creator, which is God, gave us our rights because we're humans, and we trust the government to honor those rights that we have, those freedoms that we have. So that's why, that's why we submit to constitutional republic, democratic republic, that are supposed to protect our constitutional rights, which have our God-given rights. I mean, so then they fight wars all across the world to defend those rights. You know what I mean? So even then, so you would have to, bring God into the conversation. If you're talking about a constitution, you're talking about laws, you gotta bring in the U.S. You gotta bring God into the conversation, because is it a moral? Because this is how we detect, this is how we keep morality. And if you don't have religion, then you don't have morality. You know what I mean? So we have to know what is best. You know, for the people that you elitists and you fucking bitches, y'all don't even care about your own kids. How you gonna care about the poor people? I bet y'all say that crackheads should die off, right? Because you see, y'all people, y'all think like that. Y'all don't care about people's real life, but the people that are the government, that's their job to protect everybody, not just you. I mean, and so when you're having an abortion, the reason is not health care, is because what I'm saying. The clinic doesn't care. The motherfuckers don't care about the health of the baby, the fetus, or the mental health of the father, the man that also who's the father of that seed. You know what I mean? And so, how can they call themselves healthcare providers? I mean, they're not. They're not. They don't fucking give a shit. All they do is brainwash you bitches so you can pay them so they can kill your baby. And they're the ones that made you think that it was okay to have sex in the first place. You see, that's what I'm saying. And now you defend their racist ideologies, and that's what the fuck y'all stand on because of their education that they gave you. I mean, and so all your shit is like, I really care about women, but when y'all not women, because a woman would have her kid, a woman would want her man, a woman would be strong for them. You know what I mean? Y'all not. Y'all motherfucking just a bunch of brainwashed drones. Fucking bitch. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, who told y'all that was a good idea? And it's not a good idea. The Christians been telling you the whole time it's not a good idea to do this, and y'all don't listen. And then you try to fucking, you're like the Roman, you're like the look. This already happened. In the Roman times, it already happened. If the shit were hit the fan tomorrow, you bitches, like, you would be surprised at at who would flip, and who the fuck would do what. You know what I mean? Like, who, like, if it wasn't for the fact, right, that there's that we still have, like, a semblance of safety in society. If we didn't have that shit and shit were to hit the fan, you would be surprised at who the fuck delves deepest into hell. Like, who, and the people that are godless wouldn't know what to do. I mean, unfortunately, because I'm telling you, their company would be the death of them. I mean, and and like, I'm pretty sure that there's enough, like, the thing is, though, right, is that God is what helped y'all. Like, most of y'all motherfucking hoes, y'all parents were Christians, which means that you were born and you were baptized or you were raised in the faith. Your life belongs not even to you, not even to this country. It belongs to God. You know, it belongs to God. I bet you bitches that carry your babies, y'all don't care about the innocent people in jail. Y'all don't care about when women lie about men. Y'all don't care about, like, Stormy Daniels being a promiscuous whore. You know what I mean? Y'all don't care about that. You never ask yourself, did she seduce Donald Trump? You know what I mean? Because that's her job. I mean, to be promiscuous and seducing. You think she has a ounce of credibility, of moral fiber? You know what I mean? Like, the fuck? I mean, like, they're fucking stupid, bro. Like, I'm just saying, though, like, what makes them think that destroying the thing that makes them women and the thing that we like them for, why do they think that destroying society just so they could be a bunch of nonsensical, useless cunts, you know what I mean, is so fucking admirable? What the fuck do they think that that's right, and why the fuck do they think we need to shut up about it? You know what I mean? And that we don't have a say in what the fuck happens. Why? Who the fuck wants to live to a bunch of fucking whores? Not me. Y'all destroy fucking. Y'all get motherfuckers killed. And y'all killing babies, which is pretty much a sentiment of of that y'all don't care about human life, and that y'all don't even feel to make the effort to make the world a better place for that child. Y'all don't feel that drive. Y'all don't feel the drive to survive. Y'all don't feel Y'all want to kill shit. That's not a solution. Killing shit is not a solution. Some motherfucking hoes say that adoption is not a solution. The hell it ain't. Because look, killing them is not a solution either. I mean, but what I'm trying to say is the sentiment that you have about killing shit just because you don't know what to do about it is the shit that causes more problems. I mean, in other words, you don't stop and think before you make actions. Well, before you, because you don't want to face the consequences. You know what I mean, and that's not how you learn. You know what I mean, cushioning the reality is not how you learn. You know what I mean? When a person has that kid, now they think, oh my gosh, I wish I would have, thought about who I fucked. You know what I mean? At least at one point, right? Sometimes maybe they think those things. You know what I mean? But the point is that's how you learn. You know what I mean? So, just because y'all don't want to learn how to be motherfucking good women, don't mean that, what I'm saying, that y'all should spread that fucking ideology to everybody else. I'm saying just because y'all want to be like that. But it's way more than that, you know what I'm saying? It's way more than that. Like, at the end of the day, you're lost. And unfortunately, like, destroying the nation is fucked. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And it's because y'all fear. Y'all have fear. I'll go further and say that, people that don't believe in God have fear. They have fear. And there's this argument, right? Because I'm a pro lifer, and they say, you know, what, well, do I, like, what is the cutoff age limit for, girls to get pregnant and shit? I'm like, the cutoff limit age would be something where the kid will be, I mean, first of all, if a girl is raped, right, they should have the permission to ask for an abortion. I mean, and that's what abortion was for. That's not what Planned Parenthood is, by the way. That's not what Planned Parenthood is. That's not what Planned Parenthood is. Um, but the right to an abortion, a permission to have an abortion because of a rape, shouldn't even be known to children until. Well, you see, the problem is that y'all don't trust your parents. You see, the real problem goes deeper than this, but it should be to the point where, like, it's sad that they have to know these things before because their innocence is taken away from them from a young age. But that's the world that we live in. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is that it's good for them to know. It'd be better for them to be prevented of this hurt altogether. And so, obviously, if I think of a child is raped and shit, then they got the permission to fuck. I mean, they should. They obviously should, especially if they're not even age of consent, for example. You know what I mean? And so, you know, that's true. You know what I mean? And I think that in any, so obviously I don't fucking believe that a fucking 10-year-old girl should go through with a fucking pregnancy, because that's, if you think that's what pro life is, then you're fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it is 2024. I mean, it would be inhumane in a way. But what I'm trying to say is that um, the that's not what you bitches are doing. I mean, and the fact is to prevent this evil altogether. You know what I mean? You know, is not the death to the baby is not a solution, but it is a a cap, if you will. Like, it stops, the trauma from, if that's the way you want to look at it. Because personally, it's up to the women, right? And just because she got raped don't mean that she necessarily is a person that thinks that abortion is okay. You mean, like, some women, they're strong. They're stronger than you'd imagine. You know what I mean? And some woman that really cares about kids in general and has seen the world and how it is, and when she gets put in that position, what I mean, you'd be surprised because they're protected. I mean, and I think that that's the nature of the way that I know women, because I don't live in this fucking, you know like, I come from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I come from a third world country, so you know what I mean. That is shit that really happens. You know what I mean? And that shit happens everywhere. It just depends on the type of person you are. The people that believe in God understand that a child is a blessing, and that every life is a blessing, and that we should forgive, and also that they're innocent, and they're not the ones that fought here, and and they're so when they're put in that situation, it's inconceivable to have an abortion, because the person that gave them might have been bad, but you're not. So two wrongs don't make a right. And all at the end of the day, it's up to you, right? And whether or not what I'm saying, you can go through with it, and you can if you can be able to view it as your child, because the real reality is that Planned Parenthood has brainwashed women and shit, and they are the ones raising their kids instead of their parents, and so they're losing part of traditions, which is which is not a bad thing if it wasn't the fact that you don't immediately find God because the devil's trying to get to you first. You know what I mean? But if you sustain and you wait, and then you eventually you do find God, right? And God finds you. But when you listen to people that you don't want to become like, then you get trapped into doing shit that you're not really into, like Planned Parenthood and shit. Planned Parenthood is. I remember what they said. Like, I understand that that's what women think, because they were brainwashed, and they probably say this. They say this shit, verbatim, like in all their speeches and all their shit. They said, that, you know, um, modern science has been able to prevent STDs and pregnancies as well. STDs are where the big scare of sex. You know what I mean? But they're also the ones that say that you shouldn't be deterred because, even if you have sex, another thing that can happen is, I mean, they compared pregnancy with STDs, and they were like, trying to making you think that way, like that it's something that you can get rid of with modern science. You know what I mean? And they said, that your parents were old, and that times have changed, and that people have sex for pleasure, and that they're basically just a clump of cells, and that they never mention God because to them God doesn't exist. They try to get you into the mind that they say, you know, um, something about God and religion, but they try to like X-nay on that because they don't want to tell you that they're the fucking serpents trying to play God instead of allowing God to do His work. I mean, maybe because they owe people a lot of lives that they fucking killed and stole from. You know what I mean? But anyway, the point is that they don't want you to know about God because then they would have to be held accountable for their actions over the centuries, um, and they rather stick with their junk science, their pseudoscience of Darwinism, social, like white supremacy and perversion of the biblical scripture, shit like that, like white Jesus and shit. You know what I mean? But anyway, they rather stick to their paganism and atheism and shit like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make, right, is that you know um, that's the shit. That's the argument y'all have because y'all were told this shit by Planned Parenthood. They're the ones that fucking told you that it was okay to do all this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you right now that when they were in there, they were mainly talking to the girls, and because it mattered more to the girls when they started talking about the pregnancies. You know, and they told the girls that that you didn't have to have your parents' consent in order to contact them for help and for services, and that you could be anonymous, and you could be 14 years old, and you didn't need a parent's consent. I mean, they said that um, you know that they'd be there for you. I mean, and that your parents are old and they might be wrong, so they were gonna tell you what's right. They were gonna illuminate you, and educate you about stuff. Right. So at the end of the day, they say that God doesn't exist. Your parents are wrong. You should listen to them. They're your best friend, and you don't have a soul. You're a bunch of fucking animals, and sex is for pleasure, not for procreation. I mean, and not between a husband and his wife. So they destroyed all that shit, and that's what they told you. I mean, and so that is all your talking points too. As you have grown older, those seeds that were planted when they were young, they have sprouted, and now you're a fucking stupid feminist and leftist, and you don't believe in God and shit. You don't believe in your parents. You don't believe in family structures. This is the people that Russia, like, they look at us like we're evil. This is the type of shit that other countries look at us like, yo, these motherfuckers are losing their shit. You know what I mean? And fuck, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? It's a bitch over here. You know what I mean? Because of feminism. And so, like, that's why I've been trying to look at these girls. Cause I remember the day, and I see that right after that, not a year or two later, they were trying to have boyfriends in school. They were fucking around. Then by the time they get to high school, they act like they're full blown adults. You know, they got a car, they got a motherfucking cell phone, they got a boyfriend, they got a job. You know what I mean? And like they're fucking adults. They have their own schedule. They're tired. They're fucking around and shit. I mean, and they're already sexually active and shit. You know what I mean? And by the time they get out, I mean, they're acting like full blown adults and they're just kids. I mean, they don't know shit. They're not in the real world yet. And they treat us like fucking adult, like animals, adults, and they criminalize us, throw us in jail, beat us up. That's what I had to go through. You know what I mean? But you bitches over there were acting like y'all were grown as fuck too. Like you a big girl and shit. You know what I mean? That's the fuck y'all was doing. Shit, y'all a bunch of fucking hoes and shit. Don't think I forgot. You know what I mean? Shit. You know what I mean? And your parent, I doubt your parents fucking raised you to be like that. It's Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean? And so it's their agenda. You know, I simply reject it. You know what I mean? And I don't care because I don't follow. I used to be a leftist, sure. I used to be liberal, or whatever. I used to be a Democrat until I found out that those motherfuckers were, you know, full of shit just as much as the Republicans, except that they like to. They okay. So like, there's nobody out here that actually cares about other people like that. No matter what group you fucking say, you know, nobody is different than nobody else. And I found out that when I was at my lowest, you know what I mean, at my lowest and shit, walking around with a bloody T-shirt, walking limping out the hospital and shit, you know what I mean, all fucked up. The only people that cared were not feminists, were not black people, you know, woke mobs, were not leftists or Democrats. They were Episcopal, you know, religious white people. You know what I mean? And they're the only ones that were able that stopped and actually helped me and shit. And I realized then and there that all of y'all, that's talk. That's all y'all do. The left is all talk. I mean, they're fucking woke. They all have victim mentality. Yeah, they're all victims. I mean, yeah, they're the white man is evil, and oh yeah, Christians are evil and shit. You know what I mean? Blah 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 blah. I mean, at the end of the day, I got jumped by black people. Bitches killed my kid and cheated on me. You know what I mean? And they cheated with Mexican and immigrants. And feminists almost got me killed because, you know, they're a bunch of whores. Like, and the gays are fucking perverted, you know, and depraved sexual human beings that are fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? There are, you know, those are the people, and that's the people that the left, you know, wants to. I mean, y'all want to say they're the minority? I don't know if that's true anymore. I mean, I don't know if that's true anymore. Because every fucking girl's a fucking whore. I mean, so many gay people. All right, and there's so many black motherfuckers, or a bunch of hood motherfuckers. I mean, I don't know if if they're the minority anymore. In my life, they're the majority of people. I mean, so I'm a leftist that defected. You know, in other words, I don't think it works anymore. I think it's become too socialist. I think it's actually promoting shit of the devil, which is something that shouldn't even be allowed into the United States. You know what I mean? Because stipulation, nature's God, our creator. You know what I mean? So why would we go against those things of nature? Like Planned Parenthood. That's a fucking agenda. You know, that's unnatural, against nature. You know, gays, that's against nature. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, abortion is against nature. You know, it's so behind the morality again. I'm trying to tell you that that you shoot yourself in the foot when you try to act like fucking hoes and kill babies and they show no regard to human life. You know, that's why the fuck shit happens to you. I mean, the fuck, that's why shit happens. You know, like for example, if you lived in a society where you were somebody's wife and we all had wives, and then I said, yo, somebody fucked and touched my wife. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And somebody raped my wife, you know, some fucking lunatic. You know, everybody in the community, every man would be like, hold up, what? You know what I mean? And everybody would feel offended at that point. And we'd all be able to mob together and defend our women in our communities and shit. You know what I mean? Real talk. And we would fucking be able to find that motherfucker quickly because we'd all be united under Christ, which is something that is not that far stretched. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And that's where we should be. You know what I mean? Anyway, and we'd be able to defend ourselves, in numbers, right? But when you have people that are united by other stupid shit like feminism, you don't know who's fucking who. That bitch is fucking crazy. She out there fucking having abortion you don't even know about. Like, you don't know who she with right now. And all you get are divided communities, violence, you know what I mean? Which allows fucking wolves to come here and have more ground on sex trafficking, drug trafficking, all that shit, violence and all that shit. Because we can't build a community with feminism. We can't have our kids and raise them the way that we want and protect them. And we can't protect you women, with feminism. If y'all want to fucking act like a bunch of fucking whores. I mean, quite frankly, you're shooting yourself in the fucking leg. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and that's why the fuck shit happens to you. Playing with fire. Playing with fire. And why the fuck would women not heed the advice of a man? Do you think that you have a larger perspective than a man? Like, is that what y'all trying to say? That y'all have a fucking larger, a bigger perspective than a man? A more realistic, you know what I mean? Bitch. That's just sad. Just sad, dog. You might know what's right and wrong, but you guess what? Just because you ate from the tree of knowledge. Haha. Yeah, that's right. Y'all ate a bunch of skeet. Y'all eat babies. Ugh. You see what I'm saying? Like, the point is, you don't fucking have a clue as to what the fuck that y'all doing. I mean, and y'all destroying, and what y'all destroying, shit that you weren't even grateful of. You're gonna wish that you didn't do that. You know what I mean? If shit, the way that shit is panning out, I can thank you bitches for you know all the broken families, all the violent ass kids that grew up that became fucking thieves and murderers and shit because they never had a father to discipline them. I can thank you for them being introduced to a world of abuse and being raped and shit and drugs and violence. You know what I mean? No, humans ain't perfect, but and not every man deserves to. Not every man is good. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, in order to have a community, you know what I mean, of people that can defend their families, there has to be some order. And historically speaking, the best prosperous order for us to live a healthy, long, prosperous, harmonious, joyful life is Christianity. You understand what I'm saying? It's religion, rather. It's a religious life. It's not a life that involves like trying to destroy men or trying to destroy this nation and trying to destroy kids and trying to, fighting and shit. It's like you ain't got nothing better to do. It's almost like for example, if you don't like, would women say that that abortion should be legal or whatever? If you don't want to have babies, just don't have sex. I mean, that's all I'm saying. You see, because when y'all say that abortion should be legal, what you're really telling me is that in your environment, you're likely to get raped. I mean, and who do you got to thank for that? Not Christians, because Christians told you not to fuck around with these people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who do you got to thank? Who do you got to thank for that? Your same buddies that you fucking, the fucking gangsters, the drugs, the whores, the prostitutes. You know what I mean? The immoral people. Those are the people that cause the suffering in your life in the first place. You can thank them. Even if you got raped, you can thank the devil for that. You can thank the devil for the rape. You don't know who your enemy is. You know what I mean? Like for the violence or the way that you suffered, who stole your innocence? Do you even remember? You know what I mean? I mean, at one point, I mean, you had innocence. You didn't know everything of the world, right? You had wonder, you had a twinkle in your eye. I mean, who stopped all that? You know? And it's like, I bet you it was somebody that didn't believe in God. I mean, or at that time, you know, did something that wasn't what God wanted, people to do. I mean, the reality is that people that they're what's the word? They're a different type of people. I mean, they're different than God's people. A woman that can kill her baby and not even flinch. I mean, and not understand the pain she causes is just they're just different type of people. I mean, they're just people who like they're cowards. I consider them cowards. If people that don't believe God exists, I consider cowards. They're cowards. They're the other way around. I mean, you think that